This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com, and today James, the wonderful award-winning Cauliflower Alley Club award-winning referee James Beard, has arranged for none other than Charlie Haas, the SWE Fury World Champion, to appear on the podcast inside SWEfury.com. So I'm excited. How are you today, James?
I'm doing great. Been quite a day for everybody, I think, yourself included.
Yeah, I was in Irving, Texas all day, checking out the Southern Junction venue, as well as some other venues where SWE is looking at putting on events in the near future. So I've been enjoying myself. Great bunch of people at Southern Junction. And congratulations, James. I understand that SWE Fury had their greatest first day ticket sales of all time for the April 24th Southern Junction event.
Yeah, and that's becoming kind of a common occurrence now. It seems like things just keep growing and growing, and folks wanting to get in on those front row seats and ringside seats. They've learned now that they've got to get in there and get them fast because they go in a hurry.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event, and there's new streaming people involved. It's going to be a Fight TV pay-per-view, and it's also going to air for members of the SWE Fury YouTube channel, which is growing by leaps and bounds on a daily basis, as well as members of the Hannibal TV YouTube channel. So I was talking with the people that are going to be in charge of the streaming. They regularly stream bare knuckle fighting events and concerts. So it's nice that it seems like the stream for April 24th in Irving, Texas is going to go off well for once.
Yeah, that's a new thing for us, the streaming thing. We tried it on a couple of shows, a couple of events before this, and there were some technical issues. There's no question about that, and we've been doing our due diligence trying to correct those things and find ways to get around that. And I think having partner with Fight is going to be the answer to that. I think having somebody who does that regularly and does it very cleanly. I don't know if that's a word or not, but anyway, I think that's going to help us have hopefully an event without all those issues that we've had before.
Yeah, and I see Charlie Haas is with us, the SWE World Champion, but his picture isn't quite showing up. Do you see him on your?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, Charlie.
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
It's showing that it shows that I'm on. Honestly,
I think you may have not clicked video.
Let me try this out.
I'm seeing your audio.
Hold on,
I was guilty of that the first time I tried this.
I'm gonna go to my phone and get off this iPad because evidently that sucks.
We don't want Charlie in a bad mood.
No, Charlie, of course, has a lot to talk about, and thank you for having him on. He is the SWE Fury World Champion. We also have Rodney Mack, the SWE Fury World Television Champion, and now the Blood Hunter is actually the Texas Heavyweight Champion. And I understand, James, you're actually going to be refereeing a match between the Blood Hunter and Rodney Mack soon. Here's Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie, now.
There he is. Yeah. To get back what you were talking about, and I think Charlie may even be down there when we do this. We're combining rodeo with wrestling, and I'm going to put the gear on again, and I'll try to keep up with you guys. See what happens.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
We're still working it out with Charlie. Fans, if you guys don't know, Charlie is a very accomplished amateur wrestler, and I'm really happy to be having him on the podcast. He made his debut late last year in SWE Fury and has quickly become the world champion, defeating Tim Storm, who's actually since left the company. You beat him so bad, he left the company. So I think we can see you now, Charlie.
See me now? Do you see me now?
Oh yeah,
Can you see that, baby?
I see that.
That's all that matters right there. That's what it's about.
Actually, that is what it's about, and that's what SWE is about. It's about competing, and you got to compete to carry that thing, and you've definitely done that. You've taken on all comers.
Yeah, that's the thing. And if you see that flag right there, come and take it. That's an open door policy, and that's what I love about SWE is that we have an open door policy. That's to any world champ, anybody out there that whatever organization, federation you wrestle for. Self-proclaimed world champ, whoever you are, it doesn't really matter. I don't care who you are, how many times you've been it. We have an open door policy. Come on in. If you think you can come and take it, then do open door policy. Come and do it. I am so on top of my game right now. I am in the best shape of my life. I'm Charlie Haas, damn it. I'm finally doing what I want to do the way I want to do it. And you know what? It feels good that I don't have to ask for permission. And I sure as hell don't have to ask for forgiveness.
Well,
I am the world champion, and I'm the only world champion that actually can fucking wrestle. And that's why I will take on anybody, any newcomer.
Let's get this out of the way right up front, because I know we've had people writing and making comments about, hey, Charlie's lost so much weight. What's wrong with Charlie and that kind of thing. I know the answer to that, but I'll just want to hear it in your own words. Tell them.
All right. So here it is. I'm an athlete, and my athletic sport is amateur wrestling. Okay. It's the base of every foundation there is, especially when it comes to, if you want to go in MMA, professional wrestling, you need a strong foundation. That base is amateur wrestling. For the last 2 years, I've been coaching my son's team in Allen, Texas. They're called Best Train Wrestling. We just won the Texas State title youth program. My son Russ is ranked number 1 in the country at his age and weight. My son Chuck is probably top 5 in the country. My team is probably a top 5 team in the country as well. So I am on the mat. And let me tell you something about Allen. Allen, Texas has produced Bo Nickel, who is a 3-time D1 national champion, Danny Hodge award winner. All right.
And then for people who don't know, that's like winning the Heisman in football.
Yeah. And then this is how great of a place okay, let's take it back there. 2013, Allen, Texas. They produced 2 of the greatest athletes in college history. Bo Nickel, who won the Danny Hodge Trophy, which is the equivalent to the Heisman. I mean, the Danny Hodge Trophy, which is the equivalent to the Heisman. You know who else they graduated in 2013? Kyler Murray, who won the Heisman Trophy for the University of Oklahoma. 2013. That's how great of a place Allen, Texas is. And that's where iron sharpens iron. And that's where I'm at. I'm coaching the amateur wrestling club. I'm in the room every day. We got 3 full mats. Our facility is better than most Division I programs. And I am sweating my ass off. And I'm working out with the high school kids and the college kids that come back. So, yeah, man, I've lost a lot of weight because when you crank up the heat to about 100 degrees and you're working out about 3 to 4 hours a day in an oven, you're going to lose weight. Here's the deal. I thought I was done with professional wrestling. I was just focusing on my kids. I was focusing in just rebuilding myself, so it's no surprise out there. Me and Jackie got divorced. She's gone her way. I've gone my way. We're the best when it comes to co-parent, or better not together. But I'm also rebuilding myself, and I did that through coaching. And I thought I walked away from professional wrestling. I was done. I had no idea that this was going to happen. See, I'm the type of guy that when I retired, I wasn't just going to sit on the couch and get fat and go to these, these wrestling reunions and like, man, look how out of shape he is. So all of a sudden, you guys see me, I've lost weight. Well, yeah, man, I'm an athlete. I'm in there training with the kids every day and teaching them the best technique there is to be the best professional or best amateur wrestling club there is in the country. So to all you haters out there, there's nothing wrong with me. You can call me fucking. I love that. This is the best one. Hepatitis Haas. That was great. That was a good one. Let's see. Captain Corona. That's a really good one too, man. I'm 235 pounds. I'm fucking 6'2", 6'2 and a half. I'm fucking in the best shape of my life. And you know what? I've actually gotten better because my ground game's better because I stayed away from professional wrestling and I went to amateur wrestling, and I've just worked on my technique and my takedowns and everything. Now, when I come back into pro wrestling, are unstoppable. That's why I'm saying I will take on any world champion there is. I don't care who it is, where they're from, what they've done. They have not met a wrestler like me, because what I say I do, and what I do very well.
Well, let's talk about what you just said a while ago, though. I know that a lot of this was personal. I know a lot of the reason you walked away from wrestling and competing was personal things. But what brought you back? What made you want to compete again?
You know, man, you know, and let's just say, you know, God works in mysterious ways, man. I came out, man. I just wanted to support Texas wrestling. I'm in Texas, so I wanted to support, you know, independent wrestling, Texas wrestling. So I started going I went over to Texoma Pro. I ran into you. You were like, hey, man, why don't you come out and check out SWE? My kids are with me. Man, my kids are big professional wrestling fans, you know.
They are, yeah.
Shelton's one of my best friends. He's a godfather of my oldest daughter. My kids call him uncle. He's still, you know, he's at WWE. So the kids love watching professional wrestling. So we went over to SWE, and that was in Canton. And I want to say it was probably in October. And we went and I saw Teddy. I met, you know, Road Warrior Animal before he passed. I got to see a lot of my friends that I haven't seen in a long time. It was good. And, man, we just sat down, and man, what we saw was something special. Like, I was like, man, this is great. Man, I would love to be a part of this. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but at least my kids are enjoying it. They were, I couldn't keep them in their seats. I mean, I felt like I was a kid living through them, like at the Sportatorium when I was a kid, or down there at Mid-South Wrestling, you know, when, back when Jim Ross was commentating and Cowboy Bill Watts, you know, on Mid-South. I mean, that's what I grew up with, and that's what I felt. So, come full circle, you know, I was talking to Tom Lance, and he's like, hey, and I was talking to you, James, you're like, hey, why don't you give it a try and then come? And I'm like, man, I just don't know. I go, I know I'm in good shape, but I don't know if I'm in professional wrestling shape. Let's see how it goes. So, you know, it's a good thing I don't listen to the critics, because if I did, I wouldn't have this fucking thing right here. All right. So, thanks for putting it out there, because that's just fueling the fire. And that just makes me get in the best shape of my life. And God forbid whoever gets in the ring now. So, man, you know what? I got in the ring, man, and the rest is history. Like, I demanded the best competition, because that's what I am. I'm an athlete. And there's only one goal, man. Like, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, James. And I am not here to make friends, okay? Friends don't pay bills. Being the champ pays bills, okay? When you have this title right here, you have a lot of pressure on your back, a lot of pressure. But you know what? I'm the type of guy that thrives under pressure, man. I was a diamond in the rough, and man, when that pressure comes on me, I shine, baby. Let me tell you something. I can tell you right now, if you're big star bound, it's a long and lonely, hard road. And I get that. Like I said, I don't need friends. Friends don't pay bills. Being the champ pays bills.
Well, that brings me around to another
ring, and they want to say, hey, I'm going to take that title from you. I take it personal, because what you're doing is you're going to take food off the table that feeds my kids. You're going to take clothes off their back. You're going to take away from my savings. And that's where it's personal. And that's when I get in the ring, I'm going to find my opponent. I'm going to find their weakness. I'm going to capitalize on it. And I am going to snap, crackle, pop, whatever ligament, bone, or tendon they have.
You know, that brings up another thing. You know, I've known you a long time, and we've always had a good relationship, as far as I know. And you know, I don't think there's any secret that since you've come back to wrestling, and especially at SWE Fury, you've had a little different attitude, and you know, that's pretty noticeable. Is there a reason for that, or is it just simply what you just said, the competitive thing?
Well, one is competitive too. Like I said, it's personal. When someone gets in the ring, like and they say they want to take the title from me. Like I mean, I'm dead serious. You come in, you try to take that title, you are stealing from my family, because like when you have that title, that's when you start making money. Okay. Now there's a lot of pressure on it. I'll defend it against all comers. I don't care who they are. And we'll get to those people that are lining up that want a piece of it. We'll get to the people that are calling me out from other places. You know, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. But you know what? I have an attitude because, I've been doing this for so long, 20 some years. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. I'm tired of being a yes man. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't want to piss this person off. Oh, I want to make sure I do my job because God forbid, I don't want to make it, what if I get fired? Dude, I have been fired, been rehired. I've been fired, rehired. Dude, I've lost everything. I've lost house, wife, family. I've gotten them back. But I'll tell you right now, I have a different attitude. I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm doing it my way for once, and I'm going to do it my way. And the only way I know how to do is you just go in there and you kick ass and you do whatever it takes to be the champ, and you do whatever it takes to win. And that's it.
Well,
I do have a different. Yeah, my attitude has changed. But you know what? It's an attitude of fuck you. You're not better than me. I'm the fucking best.
Well, you had a manager, and it seems like you guys have had some issues. What's the deal with that?
Here's the deal, man. Nigel, he's a great manager. He's probably one of the best managers out there. But right now, Charlie Haas doesn't need a manager. All right. Charlie Haas knows where he's going in life. I know what direction I'm going. I know what I'm doing with this title, and I don't need it. I've been doing this a little bit longer than Nigel's done it, so I can maneuver my way around, politically. When it comes to, contracts, I can handle that on my own. When it comes to dealing with management, I can handle that on my own. And when it comes to being in the ring, I don't need him in the ring to win. It's me, okay? If I lose, that's on me. And I'm not going to give, you have a manager out there. Here's the problem is if something goes wrong, and something happens that causes you to lose, okay, that's on you because you put that person in there and put that person in your corner expecting, a game plan to go. And sometimes game plans don't go to where, what you planned out. So right now, what I'm doing is if anyone loses, it's on me. It's because I didn't train hard enough, because I didn't get up, I didn't fucking run, I didn't fucking hit the gym. It's on me. I have no one else to blame. So what I've done is I've just eliminated one person that's going to keep me from, losing that title.
Well, what about the competition in SWE Fury itself? Are there guys there that you actually want to compete against, or tell me what you see the landscape out there as far as SWE is concerned?
Man, well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think it was, man, off the chart. What's great is is that you got, okay, let's just go down this. Okay. You got Moonshine Mantell. He is a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal professional wrestler. All right. He's going to be a great competitor whenever he gets to when he gets the chance to be in the ring with me, he'll be a great competitor. All right. Frank Stone, up and coming rookie. I took him out, but man, he took it to me. You know what? I feed off competition, man. I want the best competition because if not, then I'm a paper champion. I'm like all these other has-beens, or not has-beens, all these other, and that's the wrong word. I'm sorry for that. I'm like all these other champions out there that are claiming to be world champions, but they have no competition. I want the best. I want the best athletes there are, okay? And SWE has that. And these guys are coming hungry because you know what? They have something to prove. They have something to prove. And if they can knock me off that mountain, then they proved it. That ain't going to happen, though.
Well, on our last TV taping, we had a big surprise show up, Kaz XL, and you had a little bit of a stare down with him. What do you think about him showing up in SWE Fury?
All right. Big Kaz, right? Kaz XL. He's tall, and that's fucking all. You have the balls to come into my celebration, my victory celebration over Will Allday. There's another great high flyer. But what happened? I capitalized right on his back, man. Control that midsection, take out the core, and you ain't flying, baby. All right. I destroyed him. All right. It was a competitive match, a damn good match. Man, he just took that double L, baby. That Layfield lariat took his head right off. Okay. So after I got the 1, 2, 3, fucking Melina brings Kaz XL out to the ring. Melina, you and I have known each other a long time. Okay. If you wanted to represent somebody, Why don't you try to represent the champ? Okay. But you bring him in. Let me tell you something, Kaz. Stepping in to my victory party, that's like walking into the Vatican and hair lipping the Pope. You just don't do it. So you know what? You may be 7 feet tall, but that's a lot of leg, baby. That's a lot of leg for me to attack. I will find that weakness. I will go to it. I will stay on it. And I promise you, man, you aren't so tall when I knock you off your feet and I keep you on the ground. And I give you that ground and pound, you're done. And then when I hit you with that Haas lock, that submission, forget about it.
What do you think that SWE Fury gave Big Cass his own trailer and this big entrance, and they're making him into like the savior of the company? You've been
He's a what?
For all these months.
Savior of the company. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, no, wait, no. You know, if you didn't see the podcast last week, it was pretty obvious that Hannibal and Kaz aren't Jihad, if you know what I mean by that.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Wait.
Charlie Haas is the champion. If anyone should have his own trailer, it should be the world champion, Charlie Haas, not some WWE guy that hasn't even wrestled in a year.
Let me tell you something, man. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to name other federations that I've wrestled in for because, as far as I'm concerned, SWE is the federation that everyone wants to come wrestle at. I have people calling me saying, "Man, it looks like you're having fun." Having fun. I'm just being Charlie Haas, damn it. I'm kicking ass. I'm taking names. Yeah, that's fun to me. Okay, people want to be a part of SWE. People are calling to sign up. They're trying to use me to get them in. No, I'm no gatekeeper. Okay, I worked my ass off to get to where I was. Find your own way in. That's one. Two, when you do get here, all right, so he's got his own trailer. That's fine. But you know what? I'll just go into that trailer and I'll just slap him around and I'll throw him right out. I'll take it over if I want to. If I want to go to upper management and demand a trailer, goddamn, I'll get it. All right, because no one's taking that title from me. But here, the savior of the company. Okay, now I'm going to get smart on you. Okay, so I went to Seton Hall University, Big East school, top tier business school, one of the top tier business schools in the country. All right, I majored in economics and business administration. So I look at things in an analytical standpoint. So we're on YouTube TV, Fight Network. We are on, Hannibal TV. There's a buzz. So I said, okay, let me see the analytics. And you know what? All you smart marks, all you trolls out there, go look up the analytics because you guys can all do it. Okay, it's called, analytics for nerds or whatever it is. Go look it up. And then you look at the segments that Charlie Haas is in. You look at those analytics. They're off the fucking chart, man. That's the savior of the company. That's what made me different from the other champion is I am saying things that people want to hear, that people want to, they may be buying tickets to see me get my ass kicked, but it ain't going to happen. All right. So you go look at those analytics and they'll tell you, man, this is the guy that's on top. This is the guy that's saving the company by his work, by what he says, because what he says is what he does, and what he does very well. And that's fucking dismantle people.
Now, what about, though, the Blood Hunter and Selena De La Renta? Because I've actually observed the analytics, too, and it's pretty much back and forth with you and the Blood Hunter and Selena De La Renta. Obviously, he's the Texas champion. You're the world champion. Two different titles, but...
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Here's my goal. It's like, yeah, I'm the SWE heavyweight champion, but I want I want every competitor, every member of the roster analytics to be above an 80% or 90. I want everyone that gets on there is kicking ass to make SWE, to prove why SWE Fury is better than any other federation out there. So I'm not against other people outdoing me, but I'll hold it personal. So if I see, okay, I've seen the analytics as well. He's a different type of wrestler. Okay. He goes into a place that I've never really ever gone before. All right. He is a different type of wrestler. I'm not saying I wouldn't go there, but then I'm also a different type of wrestler to where he wouldn't go to where I'm at. Now, sometime, somewhere, eventually, maybe our paths will cross. But as of right now, you know what? I'm carrying the flagship. He's right there behind me, but we're both making SWE Fury the #1 professional wrestling in the country, in the
And
world.
don't forget about the opponent you talked about that I'll be refereeing the match in a few weeks. Rodney Mack, he's another one of those guys.
Yeah. Oh man, dude.
And
Okay,
a
so
title holder.
Rodney Mack, utmost respect for him. He's another journeyman, just like me. You know, dude, I've known him and Jazz for a long time, and you know what? He deserves, man. He's a hell of a television champion, and you know what? And he has proved, dude. Man, I've seen this guy fight in MMA. I've seen him. You know, we've broken bread together. We've traveled up and down the road. We've trained together. This son of a bitch can go, man. You know, if I'm going to go down an alley and get into a fight, he's definitely going to be on my side because I sure so ain't going to fight him. You know, but you know, like you said, you got Moonshine Mantel, you got Max, you got what a feud they're having. You know, the analytics on that are off the analytics on that are off the charts. So here it is. It's like you got the best competition going against each other. Yeah, man, there's gonna be blood, there's gonna be sweat, there's gonna be tears. But one thing there's gonna be ratings, and they're gonna be off the chart. And that's something that we're doing better than anyone else. We're putting the best competition out there with the best damn matches, and we're kicking fucking ass.
Well, I think analytics are very important. There's no question about that. But
Call me fucking Billy Bean of baseball, baby. I'm Billy Bean of wrestling.
Well, that's true, but it's not the only thing. You know, the eye test has to pass sometimes too. And you know, I not only see guys that are getting over the way you're talking about, but I see some guys that are younger guys that are coming on that may not have the analytics, but I see it. I can tell because I know wrestling. They're coming on like the kid that you wrestled a few weeks ago, Frank Stone.
Yeah,
I see that guy coming along and being one of those guys that be knocking it out of the park himself before too long.
You're 100%. You're 100% right, man. I mean, he's a hell of an athlete. He's a hell of an athlete. You know, he's been doing this for a couple of years, and he's just going to get better, man. As long as he sticks with it, he's going to get better. But that's the thing is, you're right. You know, and there's more to it than just analytics. But that's the thing now. Billy Bean, man, he built a hell of a job with the Oakland A's doing analytics, right? Took a bunch of journeymen, put them in the right spots. They have the longest streak there is in baseball. Okay, Brad Pitt did a hell of a job playing them. But let's get back to professional wrestling. Right now, what we have is SW Fury showcasing the best talent there is, going out and getting people that people haven't heard of because why? They haven't been given a chance. All right. I want to take these guys that can take me to the limit and push me, and I want to showcase their talent, and I want to showcase how I can defeat them. All right. I think that, Frank Stone, Will Alday, I think Edge, I think, and that's Edge here at SWE.
Edge, another Stone, yeah.
Edge Stone, that's right. No relation, I'm sure. Rodney Mack, the Blood Hunter. Man, there's this. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, the tag team division is ridiculous, and everyone knows that was my specialty. Dude, there's some great tag teams out there, some damn good tag teams, and that's something else. People aren't showcasing tag teams. SWE is. We're showcasing talent, athleticism, tag teams. But here it is. We're also showcasing wrestling. They have a good background. It's just not people that know how to do moves. Hell, I can get my kid to go out there and, do a 619 or a hurricanrana. I mean, that's easy for them. But can you wrestle? Can you go 60 minutes? Can you go longer than that? Can you, when you're hurt and injured, can you find a way to do whatever it takes to win, to climb, crawl, claw, whatever you have to do to get to the top, to hold that title?
Well, that was that reminds me, that was one of the first things that we talked about when we talked about you coming into SWE. You were actually at that point in time, you were interested in the tag team division. And we talked about that. And of course, your background with Shelton, one of the great tag teams of all time, really. And yet somehow I can't even imagine you in a tag team right now, the way things are going.
No, I agree 100%. 100%. Because before Shelton, it was my brother, Russ, and I, the Haas brothers. We signed with WWE. Team Angle. Right. And Team Angle was supposed to be Russ, myself, Shelton, and Kurt. All right. So Russ passes away, and then Shelton and I become, a great tag team under the tutelage of Arn Anderson, Jerry Briscoe. So, they, I mean, you can't get better than that. But we absorbed, we trained, we worked our asses off. Yeah. But now I can't see, and I just can't see myself going back in a tag team, I'm having so much fun as a singles. Yeah, there's more pressure on you, but there's a lot of pressure on you as a tag team because you got to make sure your partner's there, and you got to find the right partner to make a successful tag team. All right. So before it's said and done, I want them to say, yeah, man, Charlie Haas was part of one of the greatest wrestling tag teams in the history. And he left his mark in singles too. Now, if you can do that, then you know what? Then you've done your job, you know, and then you can sit at home when you retire and your legacy will be passed on to your kids.
You brought up another name when you were mentioning the influences you have, Gerald Briscoe.
Yes.
I spent a little time talking to his son this last week, and Wes Briscoe will be coming into SWE.
Great. So let me tell you,
I think you have.
let me tell you the history with Jerry. So Jerry was very influential in me and my brother from Edmond, Oklahoma, some Okies. Jerry and Jack Briscoe from Blackwell, Oklahoma, wrestled Oklahoma State. Right. Both him and Jim Ross were very, they had a lot of influence in signing both my brother and I to developmental deals. Then when Russ passed away, they were very instrumental in putting Shelton and I back together, or putting us together to form the world's greatest tag team, Team Angle. And Wes has a brother named Joe Briscoe. Joe was a good amateur wrestler that my brother-in-law, Rick Delegata, who was an 1980 and 1984 Olympian, is a 4-time U.S. champion, world champion, trained Joe. So our families have been intertwined through amateur wrestling. I've known Wes through amateur wrestling, through Jerry, and and our paths have crossed when it comes to professional wrestling. I never competed against him, but he's a hell of a wrestler, a hell of an athlete, and he should be, man. He's coming from the Briscoe brothers, one of the greatest tag teams ever. I mean, fucking ever, and great amateur wrestlers, both national champions from Oklahoma State University. So, man, I'm looking forward for him to come in. I hope he comes in. I hope he takes this opportunity and kicks the door wide open, man. And I hope he gets to where he wants to go, man. Let's just hope he doesn't want to, a shot at the heavyweight title, because I just hate to, break all his hopes and break all his dreams.
Now, Charlie, for the fans, by the way, we were talking about Frank Stone earlier on this week's episode of SWE Fury's television show. It is you against Frank Stone, and it is a very entertaining match. I suggest people watch it on the SWE Fury or the Hannibal TV YouTube channels. But James mentioned earlier he's going to be refereeing a show here on April the 17th that you're going to be defending your title on. It's a charity show. The Blood Hunter is going to wrestle Rodney Mack on it, and James Beard himself is going to put on the stripes on it. It's Belton, Texas, April the 17th. Any thoughts on this event?
Well, now let's see. James, you're going to be. Are you going to be refereeing my match?
Of course I will.
All right, man. Let's just make sure you call it right down the line, because I've seen sometimes.
I always have. You know that.
Don't give you a fresh one. I've seen you sometimes. You've called it to where you favor the other people because you think that I'm, doing things behind your back. So so let's make sure you just call it.
That was probably because you were doing things behind my back.
I beg to differ on that. I beg to differ. As a matter of fact, who am I wrestling? I don't have no idea. I mean, it doesn't, to me, it really doesn't matter. I just get in the ring and I'm such an athlete that no matter who you put in the ring, I don't need to see tapes and I don't need to study them. My game plan is right there. I can just take one look at them and I know exactly where I'm going after them, whether it's an arm, a shoulder, a neck, a back, a leg. Baby, they're going to snap, crackle, and pop when it's all said and done.
Charlie, you were actually arrested the same night you won the title. There's a fan asking about it now. How did you get out of jail? What the hell was the deal there? I think Teddy Long arranged to have you arrested. Was there a fine? Did you have to spend the night in prison? What the hell happened?
What pisses me off is that when you see greatness and you see that, I said that after I won the title, I said, get ready, because there is a new face in SWE, and we're going a different way, baby. We're putting that rocket on my back, and I'm launching SWE to another stratosphere, to another dimension that's going to make us world renowned. And that's what I've done. Some people didn't like it. Some people were pissed that I beat Tim Storm. It's a no-brainer, man. You put him in the ring with me, I send him packing. He's gone. Bye. No one knows where he's at. Okay. So they said that I mistreated or I don't know. I laid my hands on a referee and official. Okay. First of all, he laid his hands on me. He's not supposed to touch me. I had the lock on. The guy was calling for the bell. He did. And then he turns and he tries to get me to break the lock. Who the hell does he think he is? He doesn't have had the proper training to one, even to come to get near me, to put his hands on me. Two, to try to break my submission, which is unbreakable, by the way. There's no reversal to that. We'll get to that in a minute. But so because they said that I laid hands on him, I gave him gave him a nice angle slam, and then I took a belt to him. Well, you know what? If your kid does something wrong, sometimes you got to take a belt to him, right? Well, this guy did something wrong, and I guarantee he'll never do it again. So he goes crying to the cops or to Teddy, and Teddy goes and calls the cops, and we got it all straightened out. Short story is we got it all straightened out. I'm the world champ. I was reinstated. The title's back around my waist, and I'm sure that referee will never make that mistake again. And I'm sure Teddy won't do it either. So that's all I have to say.
Interesting.
Good. Charlie, there's been a bunch of fans on here that have been asking, how is your relationship with Shelton Benjamin these days? Of course, you two were known for being tag team partners in WWE together.
No, dude, everything's going good. I mean, Shelton, like I said, he's the godfather to my oldest daughter. Okay, he's one of my best friends. Man, he's family. He's family. Okay. My kids call him uncle. We're doing great, man. He'll talk to me. He'll call me. He's a fan of SWE. He's like, man, you look like you're just having fun and you're kicking ass. He goes, you're doing exactly what you've been meant to do. What needs to be done. You're doing it the way you want to, and no one's holding you back. And I'm proud of what he's done, what he's accomplished, man, this last year. Go with the pandemic. Him and his group, they've really held it together up there, and he's done a hell of a job. Done a hell of a job. But I wouldn't want to trade places with him. Because, like I said, I'm where I want to be. And, dude, when you're part of something special, man, you can feel it. And when you're you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and put this out here. And this is what my mentor taught me, and he coined this phrase. You want to know what's causing all this? You're looking at it. You're looking at it. The SWE champ's causing all this. And that's why SWE is on fire.
Well, I don't argue that at all. There's no question that especially since you've become the champion, that things have definitely stepped up a little bit as far as competition goes all over the map as far as this whole company is concerned. It seems like there's influencing what everybody in this company is doing right now. The last event was like constant. It was like a roar that just kept going all night long, and I think maybe that you're probably right. I think you've probably influenced that.
Well, here it is competition breeds competition. Iron sharpens iron. That's one thing about amateur wrestling taught me. Let's just call it as we want. Let's just call it as we see it. Amateur wrestling is the Marines of all athletics. It's the best damn sport, bar none. To be on top of it, to be a D1 All-American, to be a state champ, you got to be on top of your game, okay? So you take that work ethic, you put it into professional wrestling, you hone your craft, you learn it, you learn your game, and then you apply it. And then when you take that work ethic and you take your athleticism and your experience that you've drawn on over the years, and you become this right here, when you become world champ, then that inspires other people. And that right there is what I love about SWE, because, dude, you have a match before you and you're like, man, that was a hell of a match. Now I got to go out there and I got to go out there and showcase my technique and show why I'm the champ, why I'm better than them. But that's it, though. You want that competition. You don't want to run away from it. You don't want to run away from it. And that's something I will never do. I want the competition. I want the best roster there is, because I want everybody on that roster to have a shot at this title and to push me to my limits. And I will push them, and I will show them why I deserve this and why I'm going to keep this for a long time to come. And SWE is a place, man. The management is done a great job, and the rosters are just growing. People want to be a part of it.
No, there was some post that you made on social media the other week about Nick Aldis not being able to last really any time with you if he were to get in the ring with you in a title versus title match. I know SWE is open to this type of thing, but how do you think you would match up with a Nick Aldis or a Trevor Murdoch who's appeared in SWE Fury who holds other companies' championships?
All right, here's the deal, man. I'm not even going to acknowledge the names of these other championships because, as far as I'm concerned, um, man, there's only one heavyweight champion, and that's me. I'm the only heavyweight champion that can wrestle. It's an open door policy. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. Okay. I'm not afraid of anybody because when you've lost everything and you look death in the face, and you know what? You're not much you can be scared of. So I'm not scared of anybody. No one can out wrestle me. I guarantee it. They can't. They don't know the technique that I do. They don't spend the hours in the wrestling room like I do. And I'm not talking about lifting weights. Anyone can lift weights and be a bodybuilder and walk out in Speedos and say they're a badass. Ain't gonna happen here. What I do is different, man. And I'm gonna keep harping on this. I take my opponent's weakness. I find it. I capitalize on it. Okay. I expose that weakness. And then I go to work. You know, I mean, would you go to a store and buy a three-legged table? No, you wouldn't. So what I do is I render their limb useless till they can't use it, and then I get the victory. And that's what I do. And that's what makes me different. I know how to dismantle an arm, a neck, ribs, midsection, lower back, fucking hell, knee, hip, goddamn toe if I want to. I'll take the eye if I want. I'll work the eye. I'm the best at what I do, and there's no one better than me. So, you know what? No one can last. No one can last. I may be competitive at first, but then you'll see at the end, you'll see me just pulling away. And when it's all said and done, this gets raised, and I walk home with my checkbook and my savings account just a little bit fatter than it was when I entered the ring.
And I got to bring this up because I was at Southern Junction today, which is going to be the site of the April 24th SWE Fury TV taping / pay-per-view. SWE Fury had their best all-time day ticket sales for this event on April the 24th. Of course, you're the champion. That reflects pretty well on you. Does that make you proud that the company had their best first day ever of ticket sales with you as the champion?
Yeah, it makes me really proud, man. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm really not. I've been telling people I'm this great for a long time. Just people are finally starting to listen. Here's the deal. Whether you hate me or love me, you're going to buy a ticket to either see me kick some ass or see someone try to kick my ass, which isn't going to happen. All right. I am, like I said, I give something different that the people haven't seen. I am giving you an athlete that is a fucking wrestling machine that will take the person down and dismantle and render that limb useless. I'll whip their ass, okay? On top of that, we're building the whole roster, man. We're building this brand. SWE is the buzz, man. We got people all around us talking, okay? We got people from all over the world watching. I'll defend this title in the United States. I'll defend this title overseas. I'll sit up north, down south, wherever you want. I am not afraid to defend this title, and I'm not afraid of anyone to walk in. Open door policy, man. If you think you're that good, then come do it. And with that type of attitude, yeah, you're going to have success. And with that type of attitude, people are going to pay to come see you. And that's what we're doing, man. Yeah. So we had the best ticket sales ever. And man, it's sold out like that, the front row. Man, I can't wait to be there because in Irving, that's where I won the title, man. That's like it's like Madison Square Garden to me. That's hollow ground, man. That is right there. That man, that's hollow ground. You do not ever come in there and try to take the title from me. That's where I won it. So that will always be something special. So whoever I'm facing there, God help them.
And I must say, I was actually at the Irving Convention Center today, which is a beautiful building. SWE Fury might be going there in June, right here in Irving, Texas. It can hold thousands of people. So Irving might be like the home base of SWE Fury going forward, right in the Dallas area. Is there anyone in SWE Fury that you think would be a worthy contender for your title on the next
Yeah,
show?
I think everybody on that roster would be a worthy contender. You know, like I said, we're not going out and getting some slap nuts or getting some jackass. I mean, we're not getting some guy. Hey, man, I think I can wrestle. Going out to Shields Sporting Goods or out to Academy, buying a singlet, throwing on some knee pads, and wearing some wrestling shoes. Say, hey, I can wrestle. No, man, we're going after people that have been traveled the world, people that have been wrestling in overseas, Mexico. Because let me tell you something. There's so many different styles of wrestling out there. And I've been very fortunate to go and learn those styles. You had Japan, you have Mexico, you have hardcore, you have, American style, you have Canadian. There's so many different styles. And once you learn all that and you can compete on all those different levels, that's when you're at the top of your game. Okay. And that's what SWE's done. They're going out, they're getting people from all over, man. Puerto Rico, I mean, that's a different style as well. It's a lot different than when you're in Mexico. But, we have, so anyone, to answer your question, anybody on the roster is a worthy opponent. Just let them know that they better know what they're getting themselves into when they get in the ring with me. And they better damn well make sure they're in the best shape of their life. Because I'll tell you right now, I know every move there is. I know every counter to every counter, every counter to every counter to every counter. And I promise you, my knowledge in wrestling is a lot better than theirs.
You brought up the different places some of these guys come from. We've got Mil Muertes and Hernandez, both of those guys, Hispanic superstars, really. They're part of SWE now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, SWE went out and got the best. They got the best that are Hispanic, man. Dude, wrestling is, man. It's like a god down in Mexico, man. If you ever wrestled down there and wrestled in front of the crowds, I've wrestled in Tijuana, Mexico City, Matamoros. I've wrestled up in the mountains of Mexico. I wrestled all over, man, in Mexico, and it is that fan base is on fire, and they know everything. They're a very good fan base. Wrestling's, just like Japan. Wrestling is God in those countries, So, yeah, you got the best. Like those names you mentioned, they're some of the best, and SWE signed them. So you got them reaching out to us, So now we're trying to take our picks. Okay, who's better? Who's good? Who's gonna draw? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna be a good competitor for the world champion, for the TV champion, for the Texas Heavyweight Championship? I mean, tag team. Who is it that's gonna make this brand? I've already made it great, but who's going to help build that foundation to make it greater? So that's what we're looking at.
Sunny605 wants to know your opinion of Bob Holly, who I think you worked with in WWE.
Bob Holly, man, he's a hard-hitting son of a bitch. He's no bullshit. He will take it to you. I've seen him, I've tagged with him. I've wrestled against him. You better you better be in a fight. You better be able to know how to fight. You better be ready to get into a fight when you go with him, because what he likes to do is brawl, and he'll try to take you out of the wrestling game. So you just got to stick to your game, and you just got to withstand that first couple of minutes with him. He's a tough son of a bitch. Let me say, I have no problem going one-on-one with him. I enjoyed better tagging with him, but no, he's one of the toughest guys in the sport.
You talked a lot about amateur wrestling and about training and all that. Before every TV event, we have a clinic, actually a class clinic. We have about 40 or 50 guys come from all over that want to learn a little bit and either enhance their skills, or some of them even starting for the very first time. Have you thought about maybe showing up for that and seeing if you could impart your knowledge a little bit?
Showing up for that. You know what? This is the first time I've even heard about it. You would think that you would have the champ there to just show up, have the champ there to say, hey, all you guys that are teaching it, just sit back and actually go up into the crowd with all the other students and learn from me. So for you to sit there and tell me to show up for it, shame on you.
Okay, Charlie.
I've never been invited.
Okay, well, you can consider yourself officially invited.
Oh, good. Then we should just call it the Charlie Haas Wrestling Camp. That's what we should call it.
We'll call it whatever you want. You're the champion. We'll call it whatever. But
to go back to that Urban Convention Center, we need to change that to the Charlie Haas Arena. I think that'd be great, baby. That right there.
Well, you might want to talk to those people. They may do that.
All right. I want royalties. Go ahead.
The point I was trying to make is SWE is trying to not only show the greatest talent that's existing right now today, but we're also trying to develop those talents, and that's what this is all about.
No, you're right.
And paying it forward. And you know, I hear you talking. I know what you're saying, but I also know that you've been dedicated to do that yourself before.
No, you're 100% right. Here's the deal. It's like, if I have, and you know, you got to look at it like, man, you know, this is a business, and when you leave this business, you want to make sure it's in good hands. Okay. I've been very fortunate, man, to have people like Iron Mike Sharp broke me in. I've had Jim Kettner, who used to run the CWA, the Super 8. He helped me. He cleaned up my brother and I in order for us to get signed by WWE. We had, you know, then we had Arn Anderson. Shelton and I had Arn Anderson, Jerry Briscoe, you know, Dave Taylor. I've had Fit Finley. I've had some really great people that took their time to help me better my craft. But the reason why they took their time is because I showed up before the shows and I stayed after. And me and Shelton, or me and my brother, or just me, I was in the ring before everybody else. I went right into the locker room, changed, and went right to the ring. Everyone went to the cafeteria to eat, and you can ask anybody. Ask JBL, ask anybody. Who was the hardest working son of a bitch that was in there? It was me, okay? Me and Shelton. We did everything we could to be the best that we could do. So if individuals that do that and I see that, then and they pull me aside, hey, make you watch my match. Hey, what do you think I should do? How should I change this? What should I do? Man, I will sit down and I will talk to them. I will help pay it forward. I will give them the best advice I can. You know, I'll tell them just never give up. You keep fighting, because if you do give up, that may have been the opportunity you missed. Okay. So they may have success right away. It may take them 20 years. But I am a big fan of hard work. Hard work pays dividends. You know, it may not be this go around, but when you go out and you travel all over the world, you know, look at Davey Hart's, you know, Davey Boy Jr., man, you know, he's a journeyman. He's traveled all over the world. I saw him when he first came in. You know, he looked like a little kid. Now looks like this guy's a grizzled vet that's been through a lot of wars, man. He's one that just stuck with it.
Well, and I can vouch for you there. In fact, I heard from JBL today, and he has often said very many kind words about your development and about the way you work and how hard you work, and a lot of positive things from him.
No, you know, John was very influential with me in WWE. You know, he was a successful world champion. He's another one that was a great tag team wrestler with Ron Simmons, APA. Shelton and I did a lot. We wrestled all over the world. Even in Iraq, we wrestled the APA. What was great about Ron and John is that, man, they taught you. They took us out of our game. They beat the shit out of you, and they would beat you and beat you and beat you, and you would have to do everything you could just to get back at them. You know, it was not easy. You knew going in there, man, if you're getting that clothesline from hell, if you're getting that spine on the pine, you're going to wake up the next morning either in a hospital, getting your elbows drained, getting your neck, you know, over at the chiropractor, getting readjusted. Those two taught me a lot. John taught me a lot. As a matter of fact, my move that I'm using as a finish is called the Layfield Lariat. It's what John took from Stan Hansen when he was tagging with Stan Hansen in Japan, the Lariat, and the way he uses is called the clothesline from hell. I've taken it and it's called the Layfield Lariat. All right, do a little bit more athletic. I come with a little bit more crisp, and it is coming right across the throat, but it's going to take your head off. Ask Will all day.
Well, I can tell you he was very proud to hear that you had named your new finishing move after him. That's
good, man. Now, if he wants to, what he should do is come in and let me, you know, we should christen it for let me hit him with it. That's what we should do.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's what a mentor would really do is pass that on.
Yeah, I know.
Picture of the Irving Convention Center here where it looks like SWE might be going in June. Beautiful facility. What do you think about the growth of SWE, Charlie? Since you've come in, it's become bigger and bigger, literally on a monthly basis.
I'll tell you what, man, it's an awesome feeling. Like to be part of something to have that buzz. I mean, it's just not. I mean, yeah, okay. Being the champ, being in the ring and proving yourself and having to prove why you're the best. But man, it's doing the things outside it to help get SWE where they want to go. Okay. And then letting me have, carte blanche, letting me go out and wrestle the way I want and say, okay, just go out and do what Charlie Haas does. Just do it. And they are letting me do things that no other places would let me do. And I think it was just a match made in heaven. I think we got a great roster. I think we got great up and coming wrestlers coming in. SWE is the buzz. The SWE is going to be here to stay. I mean, dude, something special is going on here. And I'm just glad that, to be part of it. I really am. And I'm glad the management, I'm glad they talked me into joining. I really am.
Well, I'm glad you're here too. Like I said, I've known you a long time. I've known you always to be a great competitor, and I'm looking forward to this continuing.
Yes, sir. No, I agree 100%. I'm looking forward to whoever it is. That's one thing I know about SWE. I went to management. I said, give me the best talent you have. I don't care if it's homegrown. I don't care if it's in the locker room. I don't care where we have to go to get it. I demanded that open door policy. I want every so-called world champion, because I'm the only one that matters, because I'm the only one that can actually fucking wrestle. I want every one of them to come through here and try their style, to try their wrestling capability, and see if it matches up to mine.
Well, Charlie, another way we're a little different though is we do have rules. You understand that?
No, I know, man. And have you seen me throw one punch? Not one.
Oh well, I saw you abuse a referee. I saw you do that. But
I told you he laid his hands on me first. I told you, man. Sometimes when you tell your son, "Hey, don't touch that pot. It's hot. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it," man, they got to learn the hard way. So,
I got to put up a poster here for the Irving event, April 24th, that I referenced earlier with Sabu, Renee Michelle, Hernandez, Gangrel, the Blood Hunter, Molina, Charlie Haas, Mark Henry, Christy James.
All right, so let's look at that poster. What the fuck is wrong with that poster right there?
You're not the center of it.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. That like I said, man, he's tall and that's all. I'm the goddamn. I am the world champ. I'm Charlie Haas. Goddamn it. Why am I not in the center of that fucking thing? Tell me that right now. Why am I not? I'm the one.
No, I don't make posters, so I can't answer that question.
You know what? That's a bunch of crock. I bet you it's Teddy Long or some bullshit. Somebody started that right now. You know what? That's okay, man. That's okay. I'm gonna make my own fucking posters and start putting them up. And I ain't putting anybody else on it but me. And say that's it.
Well, that'll be an interesting way to market things. I can tell you that.
Come to the Charlie Haas Arena and watch me whoop everyone's ass. I mean, I guarantee it. We sell out.
Well, Robert Phillip Jr. commenting on here, you should be in the center. And I know that Aaron Priestley, the promoter for the big rodeo event that I'll put the poster up since he's watching right now, April 17th, the week before the Irving event. You're definitely on the poster, maybe not the center, but you're much more clear on this one.
He probably made the fucking poster for SWE. Jackass, put me out on the side. That's all right, man. I don't sit on the sideline, man. I'm a game changer. I am a game changer. That's what I did. I took the title and I changed the way SWE was going. And I put that rocket on my back and I'm steering that fucking rocket out to the upper stratosphere. Okay. No one else is doing it. So, you guys have fun. Put me like on the side of your posters and all that. I'm telling you, I'm going to come up with my own shit. You'll see. You know what? And when you guys go to buy it, I'm going to say, nope, sorry.
Lazarus wants to know, what was your favorite tag team match with Shelton and your favorite singles match?
Favorite tag team match with Shelton would be, man, we wrestled. I mean, God, numerous times we wrestled the Guerreros when we won the world tag titles against the Guerreros. Singles match, man, when I won the SW heavyweight title. That's a no-brainer. Because that was the time, that was with the era of Charlie Haas. The way Charlie Haas has always been was born. So when I defeated Tim Storm and sent him packing, baby, that was my favorite singles match.
Very good. And let's talk about Big Cass for a second. You're an amateur wrestler. I have a bit of an amateur wrestling background. I know Big
Oh.
Cass, an amateur wrestler. How would you attack Big Cass if you were to have a match with him? What would be your strategy against a guy nearly 7 foot tall like him?
He's got a lot of legs, baby. I would shoot a low level. I'd shoot that fucking Ferrari double leg. By the way, another one of my good friends of mine. I just want to shout out to AJ Ferrari. He won the Division I Nationals as a true freshman up at Stillwater, Oklahoma, at Oklahoma State. So I just hit one of those double legs, blast doubles on him. Or, man, I'll shoot an ankle pick, man. And once I keep him down, I'm not going to let him up. I will not let him up, man. There's no reason when you get a guy that big on the ground, it's going to be hard for him to get up. But when I take all the pressure and I apply it to the high of his neck, lower of his back, and I keep all that weight on him, and I don't give him a chance to upend my leverage, I will never, ever, ever, ever let him up. Once I take him down, it's over. I'm going to, like I said, I will render that limb useless. So I'm going to take out his legs. I'm going to take out his legs. I don't care if it's both of them. I'll take out an ankle. I'll take out the lower back. Once I get him down, that's easy, man. I'm a fucking buzzsaw, baby.
Any thoughts on Gable Stevenson, who just won the NCAA championship? He's supposedly, people are saying he's going to be the next Brock Lesnar.
No, man, you know what? I've wrestled Brock. You know, he also, I heard a rumor that he was going around telling people that he whooped that old man's ass, Brock's ass in the room or whatever. Let me tell you something. Good luck on that, okay? Good luck. I don't know. I don't know him. I personally think my boy AJ Ferrari would whoop Gable Stevenson's ass. Gable Stevenson won the Division I national title as a heavyweight. Ferrari won it at 197, the weight below him. If Gable had the balls, then he'll stay. He will stay another year in college, and from what Ferrari's saying, he's going up to heavyweight to whoop him. So I think Ferrari will beat him. That's just my personal opinion. Does he want to go to WWE? You know, a lot of people have. I mean, Sylvester Terkay wanted to do it, okay? Sylvester Terkay only had 3 losses in his whole career. They were all to Kurt Angle. It didn't pan out to him, okay? Let's see who else. You know, there was a lot of great wrestlers that tried it, okay, that just did not pan out in professional wrestling. So one thing is you got to be a fan of the sport, you know, in order to be successful. You just can't say, hey, man, you know what? I'm just going to be a professional wrestler, man. I'm going to go down to the YMCA, pay for a few lessons, or get some backyarder that never did anything or was never trained properly. You know, he takes your money, you know, gives you about, 6 weeks of training and says, here you are, man, go out there and conquer the world. Yeah, good luck. Good fucking luck, man. That's all I have to say.
Do you have any legitimate social media? I know for a while you were totally off social media, but I understand you have a few platforms now.
Yeah, here's the deal, man, is with social media. I've had it in the past. And then when you get people that are, and this is what's scary, man, is when you get people that are saying they're you, like on Facebook, and then they got pictures of your kids up, like your daughter's playing soccer that I've never even taken or had it. So they're trolling and going to these soccer games, taking pictures of my kids. That's when I said, no, you know what? I pulled it. I got a call the other day saying, hey, man, are you Charlie? Do you have this page where people are sending PayPal money for you to call them a fat bastard or whatever? I'm like, absolutely not. So we got that shut down. Listen, man, if you want me to call you a name or something, just show up at the arena, man. I'll do it for free, especially if you get my face on the way to the ring. Okay. I stay away. I'm not denouncing social media. It has a great place. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying when it gets too personal, when people are starting to say they're you, or when they start taking pictures, or they start chasing, following your kids around, that's the problem I have. Okay. I got 4 kids. I got 2 daughters, 2 boys, and I got to protect them. So if I have to withdraw and shut down that to do it, then I will. Okay. So there's a lot of fucking sickos out there, and I sure as hell don't want any of them, doing anything to my children. So.
Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting your children, and I know some of them are involved in amateur wrestling. Could you tell us a bit about their amateur wrestling accomplishments? Because I know some of them are pretty good prospects.
So my brother, my son Russ is named after my brother that passed away, Russ Haas. So he's Russ the second. He is going for his He's won the Triple Crown in Texas, which is he won folk style, freestyle, and Greco, and all three styles in wrestling. If anyone knows anything about amateur wrestling, there's three different styles. Freestyle and Greco you see in the Olympics. Folk style is what you see during the winter in college, that we talked about Gable Stevenson winning. Russ I've also taken him out to the kids nationals at USA Wrestling, where he won the freestyle and Greco. He's the best in the nation, the best in the country. He only had 1 point scored against him. It's because he stepped out of bounds. And he started crying over that. I'm like, you're getting ready to tech fall the guy and you're crying because you stepped out of bounds. Like, he was just so upset that there was a point scored against him. He is, my younger son, who's named after me, and my dad, Chuck. He's placed at Tulsa Nationals, which is probably the top national tournament outside kids or USA Wrestling kids nationals. He placed 5th this year, so he's right there. He's only 8. He's up and coming. And I got to talk, and the thing is with amateur wrestling, you're only as good as your room. You got to build a room, just like SWE. You got to build a roster because you got competition. Iron sharpens iron. Competition, builds competition. One thing I live by with the kids is, and that is, little things make a big difference. Never, ever look for a shortcut. Don't cheat to win. Do whatever it takes for you to put your best foot forward. Do whatever it takes to be successful, whether it's amateur wrestling. I've chosen amateur wrestling for them and why I did it, because it puts you in uncomfortable positions. There's nothing worse than having your arm over your head and being twisted and getting pinned or getting, spladled or getting, guillotined. But when you learn to get out of it, you can apply that work ethic in life. And no matter what God throws at you, whether it's death, taxes, divorces, whatever, you can learn to survive and thrive by getting out of those uncomfortable positions. And that is why I believe that, amateur wrestling is the best sport there is, bar none. It's the Marines of all athletics. And so in Allen, Texas, Best Trained Wrestling, we have built a great program. I've taken my sons, another kid named Oliver Pulliam. We've gone out and other kids have joined our group, and we have the best kids. We had 7 state champions. We won the state title for Texas. In the high school program, Allen, that they feed into, they're going for their 12th straight title this year. They're one of the best programs in the country. That was long-winded, but you know what? Damn, I feel good getting it off my chest. Go ahead.
Oh, it's cool. That's some great accomplishments. I know you actually train amateur wrestlers in the Dallas area right now, too. Is that open to anyone, or is that only the select few
we have an open door policy. If they want to come in and try it, yes. And if they like it, then we're open from September all the way to July. We do all 3 styles, whether it's folk style, freestyle, or Greco. It's not a sport that you just go in there and, man, you're just going to be good at it. It takes years. My goal with the way we built, and I've been very fortunate to have great mentors. My brother-in-law, Jerry Best, the head coach there, is we take a wrestler and we want to train you for a year before we put you in competition, so that when you do go into competition, you have success. Because let's face it, amateur wrestling is a street fight with rules. Okay, 99% of all fights end up on the ground. That's why it's the best. That's why it's the best foundation when it comes to MMA. Okay, you learn how to take people down, you keep them down. So I really believe that that you want to train these kids right. You want to teach them technique, and that's where I'm saying, little things make a big difference. You never, ever want to make shortcuts. The technique's got to be perfect. You can't leave anything out, and consistency. Consistency is showing up. Another thing, consistency is the mark of a champion. You can ask any one of my kids. If I say, hey, what's consistency? They'll say a mark of a champion. I'll say, what little things? They'll say make a big difference. Those are things that I have them live by, and they apply that in life. And that's why they're successful. That's why we have a really good club. And you know what? It's like paying it forward in professional wrestling. When you see their success, and man, and you coach them hard. And a lot of people say, hey, you guys coach really hard. Well, you know what? It's a hard sport. The thing about amateur wrestling is I don't have 4 other people or 10 other people or 11 other people that I can blame everything on. If I lose, it's because of me. It's because I didn't train. I wasn't consistent, that I made a shortcut and I left the little things out. So that is why it's the hardest sport there is.
Very good. And I'm actually going to come out there and train with you personally.
Please do, man. I want you to. As a matter of fact, we're going to have practice this Thursday, so you're more than welcome to come out. I'll come pick you up.
All right. Well, I guess I'm fighting you on Thursday, and I'm going to get a shot at the SWE Fury champion. Is there anything that you want to plug before we leave off here? I'm a big fan of yours. It's a pleasure having you on the podcast, and I really appreciate you doing it.
Nah, man. All I got to say is I just want everyone to know it's very rare, man, to see something like this. And you don't understand how special like this SWE is right now. How, it has a chance to just grow and be very successful. And it's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And so I want to plug all those people I want to plug all those hardworking people like the cameramen. I want to plug the sound guys. I want to plug the guys that do the music. I want to plug the agents. I want to plug the management. I want to plug, the security. Everybody that you don't see on TV, they have a vital part in making this successful. Okay. They're the ones, the people that put up the ring, the people that bring the ring to the arena, the people that set up the venues, the concession stand. Everyone that does that has a very vital part. And you know what? There's no I in team. We are a team. So that's what I want to plug. Is that my heart? Thank you for everything you've done. To those people that are behind the scenes, man, the people that work those 40-hour weeks to make us be able to go out and do what we do best.
Well, it's good to hear you say that, Charlie. I appreciate that. And I know the people that work behind the scenes in SWE Fury appreciate hearing that from the guy that's carrying the mantle right now, and that means a lot to them, I'm sure, and it does to me as a guy who's trying to help build this company to where I believe it should be and where I believe it's going to be.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. If they got in the ring and wanted to challenge me for the title, I'll kick the living shit out of them. But anyway.
I understand that also.
Well, I'm glad I'm retired. I'll stay retired, and I'll let Charlie Haas do the ass kicking. Charlie, I'm going to let you close off this podcast because you're the SWE Fury World Champion, and you're the greatest wrestler in the world today, in my opinion.
So, like the flag says, baby, come and get it. All right, come and take it. That right there says it all. What I mean is, it's an open door policy. I don't care who you are, where you are. This right here is what it's all about. Right here. Okay, so please come out April 24th at the Irving Convention Center. You can see the greatest wrestler there is, the wrestler that only matters, the heavyweight champion. You can see what SWE is all about. All right. If you can't get out there, then damn it, do whatever it takes to get it on your phone, your iPad, your TV, your smart TV, whatever it is. Okay, because you're witnessing greatness. You're witnessing something special, and you be part of it.